Number 24, January 2017. All right, who's helping me out here first? Here we go. 4. Who's 4? Ethan, here we go. First of all, rate of change. What goes on the bottom? Change in? What goes in the denominator? Change in what? Y or X in the bottom? Change in X. Change in Y over change in X. And I asked you that first because it's the easiest. Here are my X values. So it's going to be 2 minus 1. Now to find the Y values, everyone, I got to go to the graph. So Ethan, go to the graph. When X equals 2, what's its corresponding Y value? About what? 9. Minus, now go to 1 on the X-axis. Its corresponding Y value? 0. So what is the rate of change for choice 1? 9. Thank you, sir. Everyone see how this is going to go now? All right, next one with me. Here you go, 10. Here you go, Reagan, ready? On the bottom, 3.5 over 1. I'll do that for you. All right, go to your graph now. At 3.5 for your X, what's your corresponding Y? About 17, yeah. And then we already did this in the last problem, but what's its Y value for 1? Okay, so I'll give you a second to do that calculation. And you tell me about what's my rate of change for choice 2. About 6.8, yep. All right, next up, choice 3. Help me out with choice 3. 7. Here we go, Catherine. On the bottom, I already know is 5 minus 1. So using a 5 is what? 0, and what's 1? Okay, so that rate of change is nothing. Didn't change at all. All right, we got one more to test before I figure out which one had the greatest one. One more to test. Here we go, 16. Brooke, ready? 3.5 minus 0, I got it. At 3.5, what did we say? 17 minus, what was it at 0? Be careful. What was the Y value at 0? Well, it's negative first, right? It's okay, so negative 5. So 17 minus negative 5. All right, let me know what that ends up being. About what? Yep. All right, so there are your 4 rate of changes. Question says which one had the greatest, fastest average change? The fastest one. Which one's the fastest one then? 11? No 11? Nope. We found all 4 here, Emily, so which one ended up being the fastest one? 6.8? Isn't there one bigger than 6.8 up here? Right? Don't forget about the first one we did, so 9. So from 1 to 2, my fastest average rate of change. Whew. All right. Anything there? I feel like we've done a ton of those at rate of change problems, but it might just be me. All right, next up, let's go to 29. I asked you to try out. I'm going to do 29 here. Well, actually, somebody's going to do half of it. I'll do the other half. On the grid, sketch a cubic polynomial. I'll get to that whole cubic thing in a second. But you have seen that word, zeros. Give me another term for zeros. Solutions. As far as the graph goes, it's the what? Where the graph crosses x-axis. So you guys right now, if you haven't done so already, should be able to plot 3 points right now on the x-axis, because that's where the graph is going to cross it, at the zeros. So at 1 should be a point. At 3 should be a point. And at -2 should be a point. Automatically, you have those 3 points because that's where it crosses the x-axis. Now, what's the rest of the graph look like? What's cubic mean? Highest exponent is cubed, which would be what number? Okay, so it's something x to the third. It's something x to the third. The rest doesn't matter. I have not gone over this yet, so let's review this very slowly. If the highest exponent is odd, if the highest exponent is odd, the graph will start and end in opposite directions. Let me say it again. If the highest exponent is odd, the graph will start and end in opposite directions. Okay, so if it starts high, it'll end low. If it starts low, it'll end high. All right, where do you want this graph? Let's make a decision. Where do you want it to start? High or low? Low. Okay, here we go. If you want it to start low, ready? Starts low. Remember, it's got to cross every time, right? So it's got to cross. Oh, well, it's got to cross again, so it's got to come back down. And then where should this end if I started low? It's got to end high. Yep. So I got to come back and cross again. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Doesn't have to be anything fancy as long as it ends and starts in opposite directions. You could have also had it going like that instead. High to low. Okay? Hold on. If that was even, anybody know how it starts and ends if it's an even exponent? The highest exponent's even. Well, what's my only choice? Same. Either they're both up or both down. If it's even. All right, so if the highest exponent's even, they start high, both start high and end high, or start low and end low. All right? That was it for that one. Anything you guys want to ask me before we get to the big dog? Love this problem. Here we go. Excuse me. This isn't that bad for a 6-pointer. This is not that bad of a question for a 6-pointer. Usually, you guys would agree, there's a heck of a lot more writing that we got to read, and the formula is a lot more intimidating. All right, this could be a lot worse here. All right, S is, just make sure we know what each variable means. S is the miles per hour, and T is time. Determine the time when S equals 0. So where are you plugging the 0 in for? S and solving for T. All right, here we go. What's this have in it? What's equation? And this equation has what in it? A radical. All right. So you know you can't touch it unless it's by itself. Don't touch the radical unless it's by itself. How do I get it by itself? Hey, 1, how do I get it by itself? How? Oh, I don't want to make it negative. Can I just move the rest of the stuff over? It's okay. How do you get the negative 2t over? Let's go, Lucas. Add 2t, so I get 2t. How do I get the 6 over? So minus 6 equals square root of t. Now it's alone. You get rid of the radical now that it's alone. 2. Really killing my mojo there. 8, how do I get it alone now? Square both sides. This part makes me nervous. How are you treating that? This part makes me nervous. Always does. What are you doing here? What do you mean distribute? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, 2t minus 6, 2t minus 6. I'll give you 30 seconds right now to do that if you haven't done so already. And let me know what that's equal to. Seven? Who's got 7? Okay, here we go. I'll start you off. 4t squared. All good when I FOIL? Double distribute. Exponents 2, you're going to have 2 answers now, right? But not until you do what? Make one side. Yep, equal to 0. So t over. 4t squared minus 25t plus 36 equals 0. That does look interesting. I don't blame you, but we got to solve for t. Class decision. Here you go. Here are 3 ways right now. 2 weeks from tomorrow, you can solve this. Quadratic formula. Factor, complete the square. Period 3, what's the word? Not anonymous. What's the word I'm looking? Unanimous. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you. Anonymous. That's why I'm in the math department. Everybody voted for this one way, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. How do you want to solve this? We got quadratic formula, which will be given on the formula sheet. We have factoring, and we have completing the square. Period 6, use your vocal cords. I got a quadratic. I got completing the square. You want to do quadratic formula? Okay, completing the square. I'm not going to do it here. The only reason, you can't complete the square unless the a value is 1. So if I tried to divide everything by 4, that 25 is going to give me a problem. Okay, so can it be done? Yes. Not very pretty, but it can be done. All right, so quadratic formula. Wow, 2 different classes. Everyone was like factor, factor, factor in period 3. So we're going quadratic formula. All right, I'm good. Here we go then. It's going to be on your formula sheet. Remember, x equals, what's my b value? Negative 25. So when I plug it in, 25 plus or minus, you guys know how I feel about getting that number underneath the radical. You live on your store key. All over 2 times, what's your a value? 4, okay? I'll give you a minute to store in a, b, and c and find out what b squared minus 4ac is. Nobody wanted to do the old grouping method, huh? We getting a common number underneath the radical? They want to share their number to see if 7? 7? I don't think 7's the number. 7, Patrick? Okay, I want the number under the radical. Okay, 49. All right. Yes, 49. Everyone okay? 49. Okay, now let's keep going. You guys can take the square root of 49, right? 25 plus or minus 7 over 8. How do you get your 2 answers then? What do I do here to get my 2 answers? Okay, everyone ready? 25 plus 7 divided by 8. And 25 minus 7 divided by 8. You guys want to do quadratic formula? Here you go. One answer. 4. Other answer. What is it? 9 over 4. Hey, whoa, what did you guys tell me this had at the beginning of the problem? This had a what in it? Radical. Meaning, what's the deal now? What do we have to do with these 2 answers? Every time I deal with a radical equation. Check. Let's go. Store it in. I'm not going to do it for you because I know what's going to end up happening. Make sure both of these end up equaling 0 when you plug it back into the equation. And let me know your results here, because something should happen. Plug in 4, plug in 9/4, and see if they both equal 0. No, which one did not give you 0? 9/4 gave me 3, not 0. So sorry. There's only one solution there. X equals 4. Always check a radical equation. Anything? That was the big part. All right, let's do part B now. 1 hour to 3 hours, how much faster is it going? Where are you plugging 1 and 3 into for hours then? Okay, go ahead. I'll give you guys a second. So 1 hour versus 3 hours, what's the speed? Okay, so you're taking 1 and 3, plug it in for t into the equation, and let me know what you end up getting. You can even store it in your calculator if you want. Store 1 and 3 in. Here we go. Number 11. Number 11. How fast is it going after 1 hour? Okay. S equals 5, right? Did you get 3 hours yet, Emily? Okay, let me know. Just give me a couple numbers after the decimal because this will be a decimal answer. I'm just going to add in a couple more there. 3, 2, 0. How do I find out how much faster it is? What do I do to the 2 here? Subtract them. Yep, I hear you under your breath. Subtract them. Okay, so 5 minus 1.73205. And then what are you guys getting? What was it? Give me a couple more. 3.27. What is it? 6. And a lot of you are going to go nearest mile per hour, 3 miles per hour. I'm done. Sorry, guys. Got to take a point off. Go look back up at the top. This is why they get you for every single, you're going to have to earn every single point to get to 27. What's S? That's the speed, hundreds miles per hour. So what do I want to do with this version here? Multiply it by 100 and you end up getting 326.79. So to the nearest mile per hour, what would it be? 327 miles per hour. Yep. They get you every time. Any questions here for you guys? Because I only have a couple I'm going to do as a class today, and the rest is going to be on you. You'll start seeing more and more now. I do less and less in-class stuff and give you guys more time to do your thing. All right, new problem for today. Number 8. Number 8. Okay. Here we go. Number 8. Who's got 2? 2? Nobody had 2 today. 16? Okay, Brooke, let's roll. What is the inverse? I don't even care what the rest of the problem says, Brooke. I see the word inverse. What are you thinking? 2 weeks from today. Switch. Not. I'm easy. I could. I don't want it to yet. Inverse. Switch. X. And. I only got one more. Switch your X and your Y's. Okay? So can you rewrite this for me with the X and the Y switched? What do I have? Oh, ready? Just don't touch anything else. Flip your X and Y only. So what's it going to not going to start out with Y? It'll start out with X equals log 3 of. There you go. That's all I wanted. Switch your X and your Y. That's not a choice, and you know you're not picking 2. Oh, it kind of looks like that. Get out of here. Stop with that. If it kind of looks like that, it's probably not the answer. Help me solve for Y. I went over this very, very quickly at the end of class. Some of you may have missed it because you wanted to pack up and get out of here. I don't blame you. What's the base? 3. So when I rewrite this as an exponent, there's my base, 3. What's the exponent? Whatever's on the other side of the equal sign. What's on the other side of the equal sign? 3 to the x equals. What's left over? It's the only thing I haven't touched if I'm trying to get the log out of there. Y. 3 raised to the other side of the equal sign equals y. Choice 3. And you could have gotten it out of, ready? If you want to get it out of log form, you would have had what? 3 to the y equals x. And what do we do with inverse now that you know? Magic, right? This mathematics. Oh, yep, dot plot, number 9. I know how excited I get and you get when I see a dot plot. Brings us back good memories of that stats unit. You can read about Gabriel. Go ahead. I'll make this very easy on you. It's got 7. Okay, here we go, Catherine. Look, guys, I'm going to make this easy on you. All right, don't get freaked out. Here's the first thing you need to find on any of these dot plot problems. What is the observed difference between the two groups? All right, sometimes they'll give it to you like they do in this problem. Sometimes you may just have to do a quick subtraction on your calculator. So the first thing you need to find out on these dot plot problems is what is the observed difference between the two groups. And can you find that there, Catherine? Well, I don't have to. It's right in the problem here. I don't even have to look at the dot plot yet. There you go. Observed difference was 5. I take that. I find out where it is in your dot plot. Okay? Find where 5 is in the dot plot. I can't tell exactly, but it's somewhere around here. Here's where 5 is. Find your observed difference in the dot plot. Then ask yourself this important question. Is it with the rest of them, or is it on the extreme outside? Is it with the rest of the dots, or is it on the extreme outsides? Where is it here? It's with the rest of them. Okay, we all agree on that? I don't need to test the 95% at all. It's with the rest of them. If it's with the rest of them, that means that 5 is not significant. It's just like the rest of them. It's not anything special. Think about it that way. All right, it's not, 5 is not anything special. It's not significant. It's just like the rest of them. Now, does anybody remember if it's not significant, was the 5 caused by random chance or by the treatment if it's not significant? Random chance. So if it's not significant, the difference was caused by random chance, not the treatment, by random chance. So which choice here would be the best choice if it's by random chance, the difference? Because there is a difference. So one's out. There is a difference. There's a difference of 5. So one's out. And out of 2, 3, and 4, which one basically says it was due to random chance? Choice 2, random assignment. Yep. These are all treatments right here. 3 and 4 are treatments. Okay? Good? Last one with me today. Last one. I figured we just did a stats question. Why not do a probability one? You may need to reference the formulas that are not on the formula sheet packet. You may need to find that one right now because one of those formulas we're going to use right now. Okay, so just a heads up, formulas you need to know that aren't on the formula sheet. We're going to need one of those right now. All right. 11. I've gotten, you guys have gotten enough today. 7, look at that, enough. 11. 15. Oh, Brianne, how we doing? How's the lungs doing? All right. Heard you hacking up quite a bit here today. I didn't say anything, but all right. Keeping my distance. Keep my Clorox wipes right there just in case. All right. You ready to go? Okay. Determine the probability of P given K. Okay. P given K. That is a formula that's on the packet we have. I think you probably have A given B on yours packet. I think this is probably one you wrote down, correct? We wrote this one down. All right. So instead of A and B, Brian, we got P and K. It's probability, so it'll be a fraction. What should be, don't give me a number, just in general, what should be going in the numerator? Both of them happening together. So I'll go ahead and reread the problem here. What's the probability of P and K both happening together here? 1.9%. So that's what I'm going to put on top. You can put it as a decimal. It's up to you. 1.9. Both go on top. Both. And what should be going on the bottom, Brianne? K, whatever's given. Whatever's given should be on the bottom. So in this case, K for Key Club. Ooh, gotcha. Reread that a little. I know the K is right next to 8.6, but that's not what it is. 2.3. Everyone see that? Common mistake on this problem. So 2.3 for Key Club. All right. Nice job. I just got to figure out 1.9 divided by 2.3. 0.826. 0.869. What's the directions there, Brian? Nearest 10th of a percent. So that's as a decimal right now, though. So what do you have to do to it? Multiply it by 100, then round to the nearest 10th. 82.6%. Nice job. What's up, Vinny? You guys have been slacking lately in the morning. Slacking.
They put us in a closet. They gave us a green screen and like some lights. They're right there. That's fine. And they're working with it.
It's been working pretty well for the whole year so far.
Yeah, everyone.
What's the deal with the last 2 days?
Works for like 2 months and then it will stop. And then we'll work again. And it'll stop. They keep like temporarily fixing things until something else comes up.
It's pretty bootleg over there then. How are you supposed to be professionals without professional equipment? Sorry to hear that. So basically, everyone comes in the morning and
It's gotten to the point where we like kids come in.
is that possible to run it with only 3? All right, let me finish here so you guys can get going. Principal wants an interpretation of these results. Write a statement. So basically, what's the 82.6 represent? That's what the principal, the 82.6%. What are we already given? That these kids are already in, given that they were in Key Club. So of everyone that's in Key Club, 82.6% of students in Key Club, because that was already given. So in Key Club, take what? Those 6% of the students in Key Club, they also take AP Physics. Yep. That was it. That's all we need here. Oh boy. PH, anybody? Y, SIC, Physics. So given they're already in Key Club, 82.6 of them in Key Club also take AP Physics. All right. You guys are on your own. Please call me over. All right. Please call me over. Don't pack up early. You can go in any order you want. Sorry I put it. I don't know if that's causing any stress for some of you that I went high to low. Okay. Let's get going. Please call me over with questions. I will help you out any way I can right now. Okay, call me over with questions. Please don't stare at a problem for the next 10 minutes.